Namaste, angels. This will be the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday the 15th through Saturday the 21st. Right now, today, it is Friday the 13th at 12:41 a.m. when I'm about to do this reading. I'm going to begin with an opening message from my Journey of Love Oracle. It is Heart of Gold, card number 9. I don't think I've ever gone over this card or even read it on my own or come across it on my own. But in reading the first sentence, I already see how very appropriate it is for us and for this week. When you see the general reading, you will see where I talk about the month of Iyar. Those of you who don't fast forward to straight to the reading and who listen to the other portion first, where I talk about the month of Iyar, which starts on the 16th. It's the month of healing, essentially, in the Hebrew tradition. I talk about what a privilege it is to be a member of, or to be among the elect and or illumined, and to have been chosen for a divine union. And the first sentence with regard to this card, description of this card, speaks to that privilege. So I'm excited already. You are part of something profound, a divine calling and a privilege. It is the role of the inspirator upon this earth. The women and men who have hearts capable of bliss. Bliss is what we feel when we let God in. The heart opens and we cannot speak for the sensation of it. It cannot be described. Great hearts can tolerate mystery. They can hear the enormity of divine bliss beyond analysis and description and simply be. You don't have to do anything with it. You see. To be the inspiration is to have a heart open to the divine. It's a life calling. Your heart is an inspirational force to be loved, recognized, and protected for the precious catalyst of divine awakening that it is. Be led by your heart. God is in it, speaking through it, calling you forth to love. And the love that flows through your heart filters out through your toes, dripping on those beneath you as stars falling from heaven. This oracle holds a message for you, direct from the divine. You have a sacred purpose to fulfill upon this earth, and it's all sorted out. This situation, this issue, this awakening that you seek and are living even now is held lovingly in the hands of the divine creator. The creator says to you, quote, "Leave it with me. It's all unfolding in perfection. I am alive in your heart. I am your heart." End quote. When souls are touched with love sublime and hearts unleash the wonder found, a promise made somewhere in time of words that speak without a sound. In gratitude, we transcend space and bless the gifts we now can keep, of thoughts caress in soft embrace and eyes allowed in joy to weep. The moment's song that we compose will leave this life with no regret and carry forth what we impose to chart again a course once set. For what we have is ours to own, each breath a step we measure sweet. Together now we wait alone and walk in peace, our hearts complete. On that note, let's see what's up with the Divine Masculine this week. Right after I do the dice, beginning with email, stay in bed, and spend money. Spirit says party. Yes. And dirty movie. Going to the Angel Tarot, I'm beginning with the Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. Other stuff you may want to know, you should check out the general. But for example, Saturn goes retrograde this week. There is a new moon in Aries. The sun enters Aries. What else? The month of Ire begins on the 16th. Mercury faces direct. That may be it. Those are off the top of my head. Opening to the Three of Earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. The Three of Earth is about abundance that is earned. Of course, it can also be about a party of three, which may be a love triangle, something romantic, although it doesn't have to be. It can be something at your job, a project that you're working on with other people, some sort of group situation. Can be a business of your own. Maybe some sort of partnership that you're wanting to enter with others and something you're starting. Opposite the Two of Water, however, it could be two people that maybe, again, entered not just a regular, like a generic partnership, but really close platonic friendship or a romantic situation. And again, perhaps at work. Or they're being gifted, sort of. It's not really a gift because, again, you've earned it. But they're being gifted sort of by the universe. They're being promoted. They're being elevated. They're being given a raise, some sort of recompense for their work and effort. And that recompense is in the form of a healthy relationship, whether it is a friendship or something romantic. And maybe resolution to a conflict if they've had a conflict. This is the universe, blessing them with the opportunity to work through whatever it is they need to work through. Maybe because they've been hoping for it and wishing for it. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. We just saw email. The star represents the planet Uranus, which rules the sign of Aquarius, which can, for me at least, be about electronic communication, such as email. Two of Water. And it's the Ten of Fire. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life is out of balance, and that leads to stress-related health concerns. As it relates to a partnership, again, this is about going 50-50, and you easing my burden, me easing yours. Neither of us should have to carry the full load on our back. Two of Water. And the Eight of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence and being afraid to take action. There could be somebody who is self-sabotaging because they are afraid of the strength, the power, what emanates and ruminates off of this partnership. It's too much. So that makes for a fear, and they self-sabotage. For others, this Eight of Air opposite the Two of Water is being trapped in some sort of, feeling trapped in some sort of partnership that one no longer wants to be in. Two of Water, and they've got to decide what they're going to do once and for all. It's the Two of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate. Pretending there's no problem. The Two of Air is a card basically of non-action, like it's described here. It is a need to make a decision, but nobody's making one. You're just hoping that maybe if we don't address it, the problem will go away. It will not. So it's going to come to a head. And it, too, is with regard to this partnership. Two of Water. And it's the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Doesn't have to be money, it could be love too. And this is the love reading, so it may very well be representing love here. It can also be about good business decisions and maybe even giving to the less fortunate, which would be considered unconditional love. Overall energy is the 4 of fire. The 6 of fire is also sticking up, as is Major Arcana card number 18, the moon. The 4 of fire, contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. And the moon, important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. That can also be what that 8 of air was about. Did I speak of that? Did I speak to that? Fear about approaching. Well, I guess I did. I touched on it when I talked about the self-sabotage. I'm not sure if I was clear enough. That 8 of air can be about fear of entering that partnership. So there's like an avoidance of that partnership. That can be what this moon is about too. That there is just, you need to let go, and you need to allow the energy of Aries and the new moon that's coming up to carry you right on to victory and out of this energy of the 10 of fire. Victory, good news, it's on its way. Public recognition or awards. The feminine about herself, the masculine about the feminine this week, himself, and the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union this week, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two to do, and the outcome. Divine feminine, it's the star. Maybe we're to reach out in some cases. We're to make that communication, whether it's online. Some of us that are single might want to try online dating or communicating. I don't know, people still do chat room. I never did chat room, so I don't even know how it works and stuff, but that's the kind of thing, and that's what just came to mind. If that's even still a thing, maybe like different groups, Facebook groups, stuff like that. If there's somebody at work, maybe you go out to lunch. 3 of earth, right? That'll give you that 3 of earth. The star, again, represents the planet Uranus for me, which represents or rules the sign of Aquarius. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path, feminine. This can also be about healing. And that would make sense because this week, this month, and actually the next several months, as long as Chiron is in Aries too, this period is about healing. And it's been about healing for the past couple months too. So we're still on that theme. And that can be what the stars representing too. I just got that, like a karmic energy from the universe of not only prayers answered and wishes granted, but like restored faith in the universe, in humanity, in oneself. And that's going to strengthen us this week as the feminine. Masculine as it relates to the feminine. The page of air, who is logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. The page of air may be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Masculine seeing us as the page of air. This may be again, we may be reaching out and communicating. And maybe as part of that communication, there are truth bombs. Also, this may be just like the communication he's been waiting for, but it hadn't come before because of maybe like Mercury retrograde. It was delayed or something, and now it's here. And you're finally reaching out or accepting his contact. He's calling you. You're not blocking him. You're not, you're answering the text. You're picking up the phone. Finally. Masculine about himself. 10 of air. The end. So he's been having a difficult situation, maybe because of delays and because of difficulties in communicating with you, without assigning blame to either side. It's just been difficult. It's the end of that difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Somebody may be even recovering from an addiction. The union as a whole. The two of earth. Here we go. Deja vu from hell. We're in the same place again. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. We need to take like a lighthearted, maybe Virgo, with this being the suit of earth, sort of energy on to address this and decide what it is we're doing. Perhaps as part of the communication. Because we keep coming back to the same juncture. And like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing in the same way, expecting a different result means that you're insane, because it's not going to work. You got to change something. So that's what's required here. Overall, the dreamer with Archangel Metatron. Now the dreamer, speaking of Virgo, in this deck in particular, represents the planet Mercury for me, ruler of Gemini and Virgo. A leap of faith, follow your dreams. That leads to unexpected opportunity. So I do think it has a lot to do with the fact that Mercury retrograde sort of ends this week. Well, Mercury faces direct and then enters its shadow. What would the masculine have the feminine do this week toward the union? And it's more of this healing energy. It's right underneath the star. And it's the same, I don't know if I said that, but it's like a very similar energy for me. It's this energy of the universe, karmic energy of restoration and recovery. And both of these cards have this water bearer on them, if you ask me. You have an angel here holding two vessels of water, pouring water back and forth between them, standing in a pool of water. You have an angel here pouring out two vessels of water, standing in a pool of water. They're both water bearers. That's Aquarius. However, in the tarot, balance or temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius can be involved. Well, might have something to do with Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. And on Saturday, as I described in the reading from the week prior, enters a very, very favorable transit with Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, speaking of water. Whatever it is, we're being sent this very karmic energy of healing and therapy and restoration. And the masculine wants us to accept that healing and to allow ourselves to be healed and to seek healing if we're unsure as to where or how to obtain it. What's he willing to do? The Knight of Earth, who is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. So he's like willing to keep trucking and maybe keep on path. This could be the Virgo energy that we spoke of. Be in this lighthearted energy when he tries to make a change so that we don't repeat the same mistakes and end up in the same place once again. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. Maybe you hadn't been doing that in the past. He's made a commitment. We're these divine beings. We've made a commitment. It's time to honor it. You have a guardian angel to help you through. The Knight of Earth is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. Again, he's a Virgo. Taurus, perhaps, where Venus is. Venus, ruler of Gemini and Libra, fellow air sign Libra, who hasn't turned up yet. Or it could be a Capricorn, where Mars is, ruler of Scorpio, which I was just speaking of. Jupiter is also in Scorpio, retrograde in Scorpio right now. So those are all the signs that presently could be involved in this spread. But what the masculine is committing to doing this week is to remaining on path and powering forward. And again, maybe making these changes. Because what the Knight of Earth is good for, if nothing else, is reaching his goal. right? He's slow though. He can be. Like a slow and steady wins the race, but he's going to get to the end. So that's like what matters. You can count on him. You can count on the Knight of Earth to do what he says he's going to do. What would the universe have us to do? Wow. Expect positive change suddenly. Maybe it doesn't look like a thing is happening. Nothing's moving as far as you can tell. Still have that faith and be ready to take the leap. That's what the universe would have us do this week. When the wheel shows up in this position. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter, like temperance. Again, Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, like temperance. So accept the healing. Stay on course. What else does Jupiter and the wheel sort of rule? The fixed signs. Scorpio, which I've mentioned. Aquarius, which is here. Taurus. And Leo, which hasn't turned up yet. Maybe it's here. Time of positive change. The situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So expect that and then and be ready to take the leap. That's what the universe wants from us this week. Outcome. Four of Earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions. And giving to those less fortunate. The outcome is balance in the areas of our foundations. Having come up with a new plan and having been restored, balance, not giving too much of ourselves, not taking too much of the other person and draining them, not restricting too much of ourselves, not having to fight against a wall to get through to the other person. Balance, restoration. That's the outcome. It comes from the end of Mercury retrograde, and it comes from Jupiter blessing us. And it leads to our peace and happiness. And this was our overall energy for that spread. It's another 4. Again, 4s are about our foundations. So we will be restored this week. From the perspective of the universe. Beginning with blonde female, which represents the divine feminine for me in this deck. And quickly, I want to mention, one of my viewers asked me about this deck yesterday. They would say, oh, I wanted to get it. I'm not even sure if I gave her the name. That was out. It is Amira's Love Oracle. And what I said to her was, because she said, I know you mentioned it before and you said there was something that wasn't right with you. For me, yes. So I do not promote this deck. I don't tell people not to get it. Grown people should always do what they want to do. But when it arrived at my house, with how strong my gifts are and how sentient my younger daughter is as well, we felt the funk off of this deck. Now, fortunately, I'm able to cleanse that sort of thing and clear the energy around me. But I don't recommend it to anyone because I wouldn't want somebody to get it and say, oh, yeah, Queen of Swords, you know, she promotes that. And now there's like an attachment living in my home. No, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't know the person personally that made this deck. You know, I don't get anything from, I have no connection to any of these. But this is the only one that I say I gotta give like a disclaimer. Also, the descriptions are wrong, including, so like when I read them and I give a description, that's mine. That's the way I read them. I read them the way I read them. That's not what the author's idea was. That's not from anybody else. It's what comes out of the card for me. But for example, even the twin flame, quote unquote, twin flame card in the booklet that accompanies the deck says that it is a twin flame relationship is an effortless relationship. Well, anyone who is a real one knows that's not true. So this is why I don't recommend it. All right, that said, I'm beginning with blonde female, which is the representation of the divine feminine for me in this deck. And opening to passion, which is like all about fire energy, fire signs. This could be Mars. This could be Jupiter. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Blonde female. And destiny, karma. This again could be about Jupiter. Destiny. And the Ice Queen. Enter Venus. Destiny, I'll go one more. And it's work. Earth signs again. Venus and Taurus, perhaps. Mars in Capricorn, possibly. Saturn in retrograde in Capricorn, which it rules. All of those are possible with that. Destiny. Cut. Karmic female for me in this deck. It's called brunette female. This may be if I had to give it a zodiac sign, it may be a Leo or a Cancer or a Cuspian. Leo, Cancer, cusp. But the overall energy is open relationship, which is relationship out in the open. Yes, we all in the 3D think of open relationship and we go, oh, that's where you're sort of doing your own thing and it's okay with your partner. But that's what we are before we enter, a formal commitment. When you're part of a divine union, it is two beings sort of doing their own thing and trying to find their way, separate and apart from one another while connected in a way that is indescribable at the same time. So when we enter open relationship, it's relationship out in the open. Divine couple, recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to the union, the feminine can do, the masculine can do, further advice from the universe, and the outcome. Short-term heartbreak, perhaps, or separation is what is representing the divine couple today. Now, I know a few of you last week, I posted the reading that I had done for Friday and into and through the weekend for my Patreon subscribers. I shared it with my YouTube viewers as well, because so many of you had, quote unquote, bought shoes for walking and were messaging me and saying, we broke up, we stopped speaking, whatever. So this definitely would apply to some of you, like you thinking that was the end, and it's not. Recent past, true love. See, this is this. It's just short term. This will be restored. Near future. Boom. What'd I just say? This is the heart restored and new. It's different. It's changed. So we're not going to repeat the same thing again. No more deja vu from hell. Masculine's higher self. Boom. Hoarding man. So in the other spread, we saw the contact that he was interested in making, whether he is the one that initiates it or not. Blocks to the union. Beauty queen. This is that fear that showed up opposite the two of water. This is the eight of air, the eight of swords. Because beauty queen represents the energy of Venus, right? Confidence, esteem. We've released that fear. We're ready to face the world. If it's turning up as a challenge to you, it's because like you haven't done that yet. You don't feel confident. You don't feel esteemed. So that's what we got to work on this week. And this may be part of what we need to have restored as part of our healing. What we need the energy of the star for. What we need the energy of temperance for. What some of us will need to physically seek healing for, because we're incapable of performing it or obtaining it any other way, through our own means. What can the feminine do, though? True gem. Don't do anything. Don't do anything until, make any major moves until after Sunday, for one. Mercury, again, does face direct on Sunday. But if you feel yourself tripping, don't do anything major until, Monday. Let it actually be direct. Let it happen. Because Mercury jumped right up. Mercury is a ruler of Gemini. This is also coming through as the Lovers energy. The Lovers represents the sign of Gemini in the tarot. That's the space in which the feminine needs to be. It's sort of 10 of air, which could also be having to do with a Gemini, right? As air and swords. It's expecting things to be better. Yes, this might be your present situation, but expect that it will be short term and it will come to an end and this will be restored and it will be in this form. What could the masculine do? He's dealing with karma. This is more Jupiter. So basically, wait on that wheel. That's what the masculine can do. Wait on that wheel. The same way we have to maybe wait until Mercury is really direct. You wait until Jupiter sends you that sudden burst of energy and lets you know that fortune is on your side, that it's time for you to make your move. So that would explain for you why there's a short-term, perhaps, delay. And that, again, could be what from the other spread, what the page of air represented. That can be about delay. This is why you have a delay. Further advice from the universe. Ice Queen. Venus will fix it. She will fix it. She is in Taurus. She will be sending us loving energy. She did hook up with Mars this week. And she does some pretty cool things next week too. Actually, it is next week. Not this week, but next week. So that could be part of the short-term situation also. Venus enters Gemini, which she rules. Leaves Taurus, which she rules, and enters Gemini. So some of us may need to wait for that. That may be the advice from the universe in that regard for some. And the outcome. Whoa. What kind of outcome is that? Triangle. No, it's a choice, though. It's a choice. It's narrowing it down to that 2 of water. I was just joking just now, because this is exactly what we saw in the beginning when I was shuffling. Remember, we had a 3 of earth, and then we had a 2 of water, and then we had a 2 of air opposite that 2 of water. And I said a decision had to be made with regard to the union. Here it is. So that's the outcome. Let's see what else is going on. For one thing, reconciliation is someone from your past is returning to your life. In some cases, you're going to want to let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Some of us may be reunited with someone through friends, through some sort of group situation, group setting is what I'm getting. But also you can talk to actual friends if you have anybody that you know, you trust them to lend you their ear. My friends also tend to be the angels. I call upon them, and ancestors, I call upon them, and that's with whom, you know, that's who I would ask for help. Whatever allows you to end up in conversations and communication, which the other spreads indicated we would be. The dice indicated we would be. Email, the energy of Aquarius, the energy of Gemini, Mercury. This is all about communication. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves, your bond deepens. Getting to know each other and calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine, just like the other spread suggested, where it said to go into a lighter energy. And I said, oh, how about Virgo? Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces. Those would be the more youthful or quote unquote immature zodiacs of the various elements. Overall energy is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. I am in the mood to just go around twice with these cards. That's what I'm being shown to do. Masculine. Ooh, these two fit together, huh? Deception, and pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Someone is wearing a false self mask in your relationship or this relationship. So you're being shown signs of what isn't right, who isn't right, where isn't right for you. And you need to pay attention to them this week, masculine. You just need to pay attention to them. When you're guided, for example, by some of those red flags, mainly the red flag called Mars, right? The red planet. When you're guided to move toward love by that planet that rules Aries, where the sun enters this week, where there's a new moon this week, guiding us to do new things and for new love. When that happens, honestly discuss your feelings with each other, because you're going to reconcile. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Some of you first need to free yourself from something, and it can be from your own fear. I think that is what it is for most of you, right? You got to free your own mind. Release yourself like from mental slavery, as like Bob Marley said. Emancipate yourself, rather, from mental slavery. Free your mind and the rest will follow. It's time to take back control of your life. And in some cases, you can let your friends help you. Maybe you just need an ear, shoulder. And it's here in the subconscious position, and it did come through right away as a free your mind sort of thing. You are limiting yourself. You are not limited. You are limiting yourself. And it's as simple as paying attention to the signs that you're being shown. The person that's deceiving you is you. That's the person who's wearing the false self mask in this relationship. Crowning the feminine. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Don't be uptight. Don't be too heavy. Don't bring your big heavy bags with you. And trust that it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Don't self-sabotage. The feminine is surrounded by separation, which could be that actual brief period of separation. But at the same time, separation is an illusion. It's not real. It's something that we can manifest if we try to hold on to fear and negativity and negative thoughts never coming back. Then maybe that will be what happens. But time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And that time apart is going to allow you in the meantime to let go of control issues and allow the situation to unfold naturally, and everything will work itself out. In the feminine subconscious, true love, opposite unrequited love. We're driving ourselves crazy because there's been a pause, because there's been a break. We think, oh, it's over. Not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That's what's in our head. But at the same time, true love is in our head. This is the romance of a lifetime. And so we're fighting ourselves. We know what it is. We know that this is the real one. You just got to let go of the control issues and allow everything to flow. And stop trying to force either way. Crowning the union. Aww. This could be the one. You know why? Because they're your soulmate. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Yes, this is your soulmate with whom you are reconciling and from whom you may be separated briefly. And what is it again? What does that even mean? Separated briefly. It could be minutes. It could be you sit on that side of the room and I sit on this side of the room while we get this figured out. You know, a lot of it we sort of dictate and even control with our own thoughts. We manifest. So it's up to you. If you know that it's safe for you to love, if you believe that it's safe for you to love, if you're healed to the extent that you can accept that it's safe for you to love, then love will be able to flow and pass both ways. You got to be able to give it and receive it. And if that can happen, it will happen. At the root. Okay, there's passion there. And guess what this describes for me? The Aries, I said fire signs, passion, like burning passion, right? Allow your heart and sing to soul and soul to sing with joy. The Aries new moon. Boom. That's this week. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Not necessarily holiday time, but it could be the holiday, like the honeymoon phase of a relationship. When we reconcile, when we begin a new relationship, it's going to be calm. It's going to be, you know, as pleasant and beautiful as a gondola ride. Finally, still waters. And at the heart of the matter this week, make the effort to get to know each other. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Further advice to the masculine this week from the angels in the Angel Tarot. 7 of Fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Right? You got to break again out of this place of fear that might allow somebody else to come in and trample upon what you've decided, or whisper in your ear and get you to change your mind. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. For the feminine, the 9 of air, what I talked to you about, these manifestations of negativity. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. This is self-sabotage. Don't do this. Masculine, just as you got karma and, you know, in the other spread, and destiny showed up as I was shuffling over and over and over again. And we got the wheel, and I told you to wait for Jupiter. Wait for Jupiter. That's what this is. I mean, Jupiter is sort of like, people call it the planet of luck. I don't believe in luck, so I call it the planet of karma. And it's coming through for you this week. So you, similar to the feminine, allow things to flow, but you've got a little work to do. You got to pay attention to the messages, and you've got to, you know, break yourself out of, you got to change your thinking. You got to change your thinking. You got to, you know, concentrate on not manifesting negativity too, and fear and ego, and allow your destiny to unfold. Feminine. Travel. This is about movement, finally. Again, sudden movement where there hadn't been any before. Some of us could be going away together, perhaps. But for the most part, it's metaphorical movement. And masculine, express your love. Be that courting man. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And lastly, for the feminine, healing. Feminine, it came through in every spread. Temperance, the star. Let go of control issues. Safe for you to love. You're in your head too much. Is it real love? Is it true love? Is it unrequited love? I'm not feeling the love. He's not giving me enough love. You got to work on that. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. But it's not just your parents. It's any and everybody who's now, to the extent, so much so to the extent that you are unable to move forward. Something went on in your life that affected you in a way that is preventing you from fulfilling your destiny. That's what needs to be healed. Allow the universe to help you heal it. Allow the universe to show you whom else can help you to heal it, or where else it can be healed. Maybe there's some place you can go and spend time in quiet meditation and feel better. Go to one of these salt caves. Do some yoga. Go to talk to a yogi. Have them help you. Get a massage. Go get some acupuncture. There's something that, go to therapy. Call up and find yourself a psychologist if you need one. Call an energy healer. Book an energy healer, like myself or whomever you're into. I hope that you guys enjoyed the love reading and find it helpful. Namaste, angels.